Harlan from Kiddy Coders, and I'm here today to draw a moose with you. Since it's wintertime, I thought it'd be a cool idea to do some moose art. So let's do that today. So my pencil here, my trusty pencil, and you just need a pencil and a sheet of paper to do this. And I'm just going to start by kind of figuring out where do I want to put this. Let's see. I'm just going to look on screen here to make sure everything is in the right space that I want to use. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing this for the sake of the camera to figure out how big I want to make this so you'll be able to see it pretty well. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, so now with anything, like I've always said, you always want to start out with your basic shapes. So let's do that right about here. So I'm going to draw my moose. Okay, and I'm going to start with a circle probably for the head. And I'm going to maybe make a line for the neck, something like that. And then you have the body shape, which is going to be sort of circular. And then over here, you're going to have sort of the front of the legs, but you just want to show the top part, maybe the thigh there, sort of like a circle or an oval. And I'm drawing pretty light here. You always want to draw light when you're drawing. And then also over here, you want to draw another circle, probably for the back leg. Okay. And then what I would do, I would sort of draw a line downward. And this is going to be a little bit larger. That's okay. I'll just move my paper up a bit so you can see. Maybe a line down and then another line like that. So you can see I'm kind of bending the line a little bit to show the shape of what the leg is going to be. Okay, kind of creating a skeleton in a way. So let's do that over here with the back leg. We'll do the same thing. And it kind of goes like this. And then it's coming down. And then it's going to bend as well. Let's draw another leg here. Maybe this one, the front leg again, going back. So I'm just sort of sketching things out with just lines and shapes. And I draw really sketchy, I know. And let's do that. So, okay, that should work pretty well. All right, so we have kind of the skeleton for our moose established now. So now what we want to do is we want to add more to details. So I'm going to start, I think, with the head. And a moose has a kind of funny head. They have a face a little bit like a horse or a donkey, but then it seems like their mouth kind of goes down a bit. So I want to have that angle, sort of a diagonal shape there. Okay. And this might be a little bit challenging for the really, really young ones, but I think this will be right up the alley for maybe my upper middle school learners or my middle school learners and upper elementary school learners. Okay, and you can see what I'm doing with the mouth. I'm kind of going up again and I'm going to make that sort of horsey shape for the face there. Okay, sort of like that. Now let's sort of establish the neck. They have a really huge neck. Okay, the neck kind of goes in to their whole body and it's triangular. That. They have almost like a hump there on the back of their neck there. It's sort of humpy. So let me kind of show there's a lot of muscle there. They're really powerful animals, really big animals. Okay, and I'm going to come down again. And now we're going to go across. Okay. We're kind of showing, in a way, weight with our line. Okay, and now we're going to draw in the belly, the stomach here of the animal. Okay, and again up here, it's sort of triangular, the leg is, so let's sort of draw that in as a triangle shape, as you can see there. And then I'm going to come straight down, and then they have their hoof right about here. So let's draw that in. Sort of this shape here, and just look a little edge there. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. come down. And I might need to draw that down just a little bit, I think. Okay, and I'm going to draw this just a little bit slightly up to show that this leg is in the front and this leg is in the back, so it's going to be a little bit smaller. Again, same sort of shape. Sort of a boxy shape for the hoof. Okay, and the back leg is the bigger leg. It's usually so with most animals. You know, if you look at a dog, even with a dog, their back leg is usually a lot larger than their front legs. So kind of like that. You're kind of repeating the same shape. So you have like a triangle shape, and then you have kind of a rectangle, and then you have a triangle sort of bent outwards like that for the leg, if you can see that there. All right, let me move my screen. Good. All right, so let's continue. We're doing the same thing here. Okay. Sort of triangular shape there, boxy for the back leg. Okay, and they have a little funny little tail. They don't have much of a tail. sort of like that is their tail. Okay, almost like a deer's tail. All right, and then they also have sort of this goozle here. I call it goozle. I'm sure there's a scientific name for it. All right. Kind of like that. It's like they have like a goatee or beard there or something. It's kind of a funny shape. All right. And there we go. That is the basic shape for our moose. Okay. We're going to keep going. I'm just having a bit of fun here, going over some of the lines. And I think at this point, I can even get rid of a few of the lines that I don't need. So let me see if I have a trusty pencil around to do that. I'm going to change my tools. If I can. Let's see. Another eraser. I'm going to have to look for it a bit later. Yeah, I'll look for it later. Can't find it right now. I can use another eraser later. But this can be a good point where you can start erasing. Actually, let's see. I should have something in here. I have a big pink eraser here. All right, so I'll use this eraser. And what I like to do, it's a good idea. Sometimes when you have an eraser, it gets a little bit dirty. So if you have another sheet of paper, you might just want to clean it off a little bit just to make sure you don't have like any extra pencil markings. Like see, if you can see, it's a little bit smudged, a little bit dirty on this side. I probably wouldn't want to use that. But over here, it's pretty good, okay? And I can even erase a little bit more. You want to do this because just in case you put the eraser down, you don't want to make a mark across your paper or smudge your paper. So it's kind of good to clean it off before you start erasing a little bit if you can. So I'm just going to go in here and just going to erase a few things that I don't need anymore. I don't really need sort of the skeleton that I use to build my moose. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here. And like that. Okay. So you can see it's more the outline of the moose now. So let's go back in there and let's add some more details. All right. So we have their eyes here. The eyes about right about here, I'd say. Got the mouth. And then the nose. It's kind of funny. They have really big nostrils, long nostrils there. Okay. Let me try to get that in there. Okay. And their ears are kind of on top of their head. Kind of are like a leaf shape in a way. sort of like that. Okay, and with their antlers are kind of on the sides. And the antlers come out and they go up. And sometimes they have these really big additions to their antlers, almost look like leaves or something organic like a tree, but kind of really wide and big antlers. And I'm just having a little bit of fun with it at this point. And let me go over here and do the same thing. Okay. Sort of drawing so these little thumb shapes. It's almost like a hand on their antlers. Okay. So woo! All right. So that's pretty much our moose there. Let's get rid of a few things we don't need, perhaps. I always like to add a little bit of a background to picture. So let me see, what would I put in here? Just going to try to show that there's maybe some land here. And then maybe have a few blades of grass sticking up, perhaps, around the hoofs. And then I want to kind of indicate, maybe raise this up so you can see it better, a little bit of shadow here. Sort of a puddly shape I'm making for the shadow. Okay. Maybe I'll draw another sort of heely shape back here. And maybe I'll draw some tiny trees. Let's maybe make them sort of pine trees, since it is sort of a winter scene. You can see as I go back, the trees are a little bit smaller, even though they're really small in the background anyway. Okay. Maybe I'll make a larger tree here. Sort of making sort of a zigzag shape for this. I'm doing most of this just off the top of my head. It's really good though if you do use references for drawing, and by reference I mean using a photograph to draw from is not a bad idea. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It just teaches you how to draw better and look at things a lot better. Okay. So I'm gonna make maybe a little bit of fur here. They're pretty furry. I'm gonna try to show there's some fur there down here. Ankles, maybe here. Show a little bit of fur. Okay. Try to get in those nostrils there. All right. And now, of course, I'm going to go into the detail part of it, probably with my marker. So let's do that. Even for some of this, I might even doing with something even smaller. This time I think I might even just use, let's see what I have here. I might even use a pen, just an ink pen sometime for like inking or tracing. It's not a bad idea. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I want to have some areas, I think, where I have this sort of thick, bold line, and other areas where I'll have more of a thin line to create some variety with my line. Okay. Two. All righty, let's continue. I wonder how your picture of a moose is going. I wish I could like see everybody's picture right now. You really won't see the eye on that side, so I'm just sort of showing a few lines to indicate there is an eye there to show there's an eye there. Okay, and a mouth here. How to do that. Okay, a few lines there. All right. Now let's draw in these antlers. These humongous antlers. Oops, got a little bit off, but that's okay. Got to be careful when you're working with ink and with markers. All right. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see better. And their antlers for these sort of animals is sort of like a fingerprint is for a human being. Each one is different for each animal. It kind of shows who they are. Okay. Sort of like that. And then we'll draw a few maybe blades of grass here sticking up. And I'll do that a few other places too in my drawing. Let me move that so you can see better. All right. All right. Let's put in some of this background here. And with this, I want to do just a complete straight line all the way through. I want to break it up a little bit. Sometimes it's good to use like lines that are connected all the way, and sometimes it's good to use lines that are broken up, just to show a difference in the picture, to make it interesting, to show what's called variety, which just means differences for the most part. Differences are good. Oh, I think we have a visitor here. Welcome. Is that Igor? Igor? If they're signing in, perhaps. They're drawing with us. That's pretty cool. Or trying to join us to draw. And drawing is something that's really great to do. It's very relaxing. And also, there are lots of jobs that require artists or need artists, like people that design cars are artists, people that design furniture, people that draw buildings. So there are lots of jobs you can do as an artist besides just teach or, even making video games. Those are all jobs that artists do. If you see something in the world, it's probably been created by some type of artist. Okay. Once I get, I think, this one in here, I'll draw a few lines there for the trunk of the tree. Hey, is that Igor?
Yes.
Hi, welcome. We're just drawing a moose here. Glad you could join us. So I just sort of started out with some basic shapes. I'll show you really quickly how I did this. If I can.
What class is this?
Well, this is an art class, actually. Are you here for art?
Actually, no. I am here. I am actually supposed to have a different class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kiddy Coders has a lot of different classes. I guess they have. What class do you have with Kiddy Coders?
Video, and video editing and photo editing class, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've taught that before, the
So,
video class
am I
editing.
supposed to leave?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if you got a class right now, you probably should head to that class. I don't want to help you
Okay.
to play hooky.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. All right, so I'm going to erase that. I use visiting us to create art. Sometimes we have visitors drop in, but he had another class to go to, so I didn't want to keep him here when he had another class. Well, let's see what we got here. I'm going to erase that. I think he's back. Maybe not. Technology. Isn't it a joy? All right. So you see I'm getting rid of the rest of my lines here. Okay. Actually using sort of the line that wasn't so clean there, but that's okay. I didn't cause any damage, thankfully. There are lots of different kinds of erasers that you can use in art too. This is the one most people probably are familiar with, a pink eraser. But there are also what's called a gum eraser and kneaded eraser, and those do different things. Yes. And tap. And just cleaning up some more. Sometimes it takes a while to clean up, but that's okay. Cleaning up is very important. It's one of the most important parts of probably making art at times. I'm going to just get rid of some of these erasings there that I made, dust them off into the garbage can. All right, now I have a clean sheet of paper, and now I'm going to go into it with some color. And this time I thought I'd do something maybe a little bit different. And I would whip out the colored pencils this time. I have a bunch of different colored pencils from all over the place. I could have used some black. There, let's see, what color will I use? Most are pretty much brown. Let's see what this color looks like. That looks like a brown there. And let me see another one. I have different brands of color pencils. I kind of keep them all bound together. See what this is. I don't know what this is. This looks like maybe a generic one I got from the dollar store. Those aren't always the best. I would say the best um, color pencils are probably Crayola. But you can sometimes you can find them at a dollar store for just $1. I kind of like that color actually. Let's start out with that. Sometimes it's really nice to start out drawing with a light color and then building to a darker color. So let's just start doing that for the few remaining minutes that we have left. You can see how I'm sort of coloring. And this is just my little inexpensive, cheapo colored pencil, but there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. You can see how I'm using the edge of the pencil pretty softly to just bring in some color. Just going back and forth. It's always good to try to get a nice solid tone when you start coloring. I know in some areas you want to think about where's the light hitting, where if this is an outdoor scene and I'm thinking this is daytime, even though it's pretty dark in the winter still, but we do have some light during the day. If it's underneath, you know you're going to have some shadow in places that are below, like here on the tummy here. That's going to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to shade that a little darker. And then with the back leg too. So this, because it's inside, you know, it's on the side of the leg. On the other side, it's going to be probably a little darker. So you might as well just shade that in darker, you know, unless there could be some light that comes in and hits it diagonally from the side. But for the most part, it's going to be a little bit darker. So at least at the top, I would say. It's probably going to be darker. Okay. Over here in the front, because of the head being so large, you're probably gonna have some shadow here in the front, just a little bit. Okay, maybe on the back here of the front leg, you might have a little shadow there too. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over here, same thing. You just want to shade it evenly, kind of figure out where the shadows will be at. Okay, I think I'll put a little shadow here around the leg, around maybe the inside where the thigh and the body meet. Okay, maybe on the back a little bit. Could be in some shadow here. So just shading a little. I think my friend Gore's lost a bit. All right, here on the tail, it's gonna be a little bit dark. It's on the very back. And let's just keep shading. Oh, wow, I think we're just about out of time. Let me see. Got one more here. And I even keep, you know, my color pencils, even when they like grind down to almost nothing, I still keep them and use them for coloring because they can still be useful. You don't have to throw these things away. All right, so I guess we better wrap it up today, but I hope you've had fun working with us today with Kiddy Coders, drawing a moose. We didn't get to finish coloring it all, but you can always finish coloring it on your own at home. I'm sure you do a great job. You can watch this video over if you like, if you need some help with the drawing parts of it, getting started. If you're new to this, practice always makes perfect, as they say. And be sure to check out Kiddy Coders online here on Facebook and also on their website. They offer all kinds of classes as far as like drawing, chess, coding, computer coding. So people are making their own websites in their games, Scratch, all sorts of stuff, cool stuff. Even help with things like math and languages. You can all take classes, whatever class you need at Kiddy Coders. I think it's a really good online school for students with lots of teachers with various expertise. And I hope you had fun today. I had fun today. And so I will talk to you again next time. Ooh, my pencil's rolling away. Take care. Bye-bye.